All right, guys, I need to get into some tea because we got a sneak peek from tonight's episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, where we see the ladies flying back from Aspen discussing what actually happened with Kathy at the Caribou Club. And Lisa Rinna discusses what Kathy said about Kyle and Mauricio on the way home from the club. She also goes into how crazy basically Kathy was acting when they got back to the house. She was stomping on her glasses, she was banging on the walls, and it caused Lisa Rinna to lock herself in the bedroom. So my question is, maybe this is why Kathy has her lawyers all over the footage, because as I reported on TikTok, our lovely friend at Your Moms Are Watching shared from a reliable source that Kathy's lawyers have been all over Bravo, ensuring that the edits of her are fair and portray her in, a fair light, in the sense that she doesn't want certain things being put out there that will obviously impact her image, her likeness, everything that's attached to her brand. And as we know, we've also heard from Your Moms Are Watching's sources when they filmed the reunion that Kathy also had her publicist there, which is not something that is typically allowed. But hey, it's Kathy Hilton. And if we remember from last season, they actually made the reunion set the backyard of Kathy Hilton's house. So Bravo is definitely enjoying having Kathy Hilton on the show. Obviously, it does well for the brand. It obviously is very typical Beverly Hills. And who is not a classic housewife in Beverly Hills other than Kathy Hilton? Now, I will say that from the sneak peek, and if you want to see the sneak peek, you just head over to my TikTok. It is there at Giorgio Says. But I I'm kind of in between this a little bit. I do see why people would be upset that her lawyers are all over the footage and trying to basically control Kathy's narrative and ensure that she gets a fair edit. But this isn't anything new. The other ladies on this show have been plotting behind the scenes and controlling narratives for a very long time. And if we're going to use the fairness, tactic here, it's not fair that, allegedly Kyle gets together with, the group of ladies at the beginning of the season and they basically plan out what their storylines are going to be and what they're going to do and say. So I think it's interesting that people are having this adverse reaction to hearing this. Now, whether you like Kathy or you don't, Kathy obviously understands how this whole world works. She's been doing this for a very long time and she knows how to get things done. Do I think that the show is going to let these ladies talk about these alleged slurs on the show? No. And I think it's really because we don't have any footage of what happened inside the club. We only can take what Erica, Lisa, and seemingly Diana, who saw kind of this meltdown going on, we're only going to hear their side of the story. That's not to say that I don't think that that's possible that she used the slurs. But again, if we're just going to focus on the meltdown and what she said about Kyle, there's also history there too. It's obvious that Kyle and Kathy have not resolved their issues in regards to, Mauricio leaving Hilton and Highland and starting the agency, or when Kathy was upset with Kyle for launching that show on Paramount Plus, American Woman, which was lightly inspired by, their family, their mom, and everything that went along with that time period. So it's not shocking to me that in the clip she tells Rinna allegedly that she will take Kyle and her whole family down. She'll also take down NBC, Universal, as well as Bravo. Now, this is all coming from Lisa Rinna's point of view. We don't have any audio. Like I said, we definitely don't have any video. The cameras were down that night. And we already knew this going into the season, that there was not going to be any video footage of any of this stuff going on within the club. But a lot of people don't want to just take Erica or Lisa's word for it. Now, my opinion on the situation, and I definitely want to know yours, is if that were the case and there is nothing that they can show or let us hear, what Kathy was saying or what she actually was, behaving like back at Kyle's house in Aspen. If Rinna was so dead on making sure that this was revealed, what we're calling the Kathy Hilton takedown, because that's exactly what it is. And, are we not going to think that Lisa Rinna wouldn't have pulled out her own cell phone to record audio at the very least? At least let us hear that she's like yelling in the background, because it's a little odd to me. Because initially, Lisa Rinna went really hard at Kathy about these racial slurs. And let's be clear, it's not like the Hilton family's innocent from using slurs. If you look at some of the things that Paris Hilton said in the past, the brother has said, and a number of other like things that have occurred, it's not that far of a reach to think that Kathy would use slurs like that. Now, would that be disappointing? Obviously, it would. But in terms of how the show's being narrated, it seems like the editors are going to have to go back to the drawing board and ensure that probably none of that gets in. So they're probably only going to focus on what Kathy said about Kyle in Aspen. We won't really get anything in regards to the slurs. My other point to this is that at the reunion, we did hear that Kyle did take all of the blame for all of this regarding Kathy Hilton and the Aspen situation. But I really feel that that was to kind of make good with the family. Again, Kathy does not want her image to be tarnished. She obviously knew when she came onto the show that she was going to be a friend of, but she probably didn't realize that some of these women were going to come after her in whatever way that they could. Specifically, Lisa, Rinna, and Erica, because they both don't really have much going on. Erica has her legal issues that she's sick of talking about, so this is a nice way to deflect off of her. Lisa Rinna doesn't really have a storyline. It's more about who she's going to take down season to season. So I'm excited to watch tonight's episode. If you guys are available, you can join me on my Zoom, my first Zoom live party. I will be hosting it. We will be watching tonight's episode live. If you are interested, you can go over to my Instagram stories at Giorgio Not Armani, and you can RSVP. I will be sending out the link about 30 minutes before the show starts just to make sure everyone's settled, and we're going to have an amazing time. Now, I want to know your thoughts on this, so please leave a comment below. Please like and subscribe. Like I said earlier, it really does help me in the algorithm here on YouTube, and I will talk to you guys very soon.